Fragile space in a single sail, white rocky island, you and I on the trail, just us and the waves, no need to behave in the harbor of healing. We camp on the shore.